From Fox 55 Sports, this is The Locker Room.
And with that, we say good evening, everyone. Welcome inside another snowy edition of The Locker Room. My name is Justin Prince. Elijah Collins will join us shortly. Hey, we are getting down to the nitty-gritty now. Just 4 teams from Northeast Indiana still alive in a hunt for a high school football state title. A win tonight, you have a chance to bring home that big trophy next weekend and a blue ring as well. One of those 4 teams from the 2-6-0 vying for a state title berth is the Snyder Panthers, and Kurt Tittman's squad is rolling. Snyder comes into this week as the state's top-ranked team in Class 5A, winners of 10 straight ball games, and they've already checked off 2 big milestones this postseason as well, winning their first sectional title since 2018 and their first regional title since 2016. Could they check off another big one tonight? 5A's top-ranked Panthers at Spooler Stadium hosting Valparaiso with a spot in that 5A title game on the line. Snyder eyeing their first trip to state since winning it all in 2015. First quarter, Vikings applying the pressure in their first drive. Justin Clark fakes the handoff, takes it to the right. Nice gain for the first down. Vikings eventually get the ball on the 8, 4th and 6 now for Valpo. They're going to go for the field goal, but the Snyder D comes up big. They block it. Panthers take over, second quarter, 2-minute mark though. Valpo looking to answer here. Actually, excuse me, this is Snyder. They are on the move. Langston level, just leveling that Valpo defense, takes it in for a touchdown for Snyder, and the Panthers take a 7-0 lead. Second quarter now, 2-minute mark. Valpo answers. Clark, handoff to Travis Davis. TD is good. Extra point, though, no good, so it's a 7-6 ball game. A little bit later, same quarter now. Snyder possession. Luke Hoppert, the fake handoff, rolls to his right, finds Lincoln Ferks. What a dude this guy has been in the postseason. 14-6 game after the extra point. A little bit later in the game, though, Valpo would answer with the tie. Davis again. 2-point conversion is good. That forces overtime. Panthers get the ball first to start the OT, and they go right into the end zone. Hoppert to Langston level again. He's in. It's a 21-6 ball game, or 21-14 ball game, but Valpo would march right back and answer. There they punch it in for the touchdown. They would end up going for 2 and getting it. And how about that? Snyder falls in an absolute heartbreaker. Panthers fall on this one, 22-21. Our Elijah Collins joins us live now from Spooler Stadium. Elijah, hey, we said it there at the end of the highlights. Pure heartbreak for the Panthers, who have to feel like this one just kind of slipped away from them late.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a heartbreak in this 5A matchup. This is the 3rd time Valpo and Snyder has met. In the last 35 years, Snyder took the victory 28-17 back in 2002, but obviously Valpo came out with a big tough tonight. Now, Snyder coming into this matchup, their offense was rolling, and all of their postseason matchups, they scored 40-plus points tonight, but facing a tough defensive Valpo team tonight, only scored 21 points, obviously a tough overtime loss for them, but it was a tough matchup overall. Kurt Tittman and the boys had a phenomenal season. They earned their 17th regional title, obviously, last week, but unfortunately not the way they wanted to end this season, so they close up the season 11-2, but we'll probably see a tough Snyder team next year as well. hopefully we'll see a Snyder Panthers team next year, but only time will tell. Now, we won't have sound from Coach Tippmann on the show, but be sure to check us out online. We'll have more sound from the team where you can join us in. But live from Spoiler Stadium, Elijah Collins, Justin Prince, I'll send things back to you.
Hey, Elijah, before you head out, man, kind of take me through this one. Take me through this second half in this one. Snyder obviously had the lead. They had it till really late in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
What did you see from Valpo? What did they do? Just kind of how gritty was that team that they were able to come away with that victory?
I mean, to be honest, you have to give it to Valpo. They had a very strong defense starting off. Snyder couldn't get anything going in that first quarter. Finally got things. We saw the touchdown by Lavelle in that second quarter. But you have to give props to the Valpo defense tonight. They came out strong. And then offensively, their offense got rolling in that second half. We started to see things picked up. Now, they missed 2 field goals in the regular play. But in overtime, I mean, they capitalized with that 2-point conversion to seal the deal. So we have to give props to Valpo there.
One more from me, Elijah. You said you talked to Coach Tippmann. Kind of what was the mood? What was he kind of like after this ball game? Was he a little upset? Was he sad? Kind of what was the mood around this group?
I mean, obviously, with a tough loss like that, you're going to be pretty down. But overall for the season, I mean, he's pretty pleased with his boys. 11-2, probably a better season they've had so far. He earned his 17th regional title last week, as we talked about. But he's pretty pleased about the effort his boys gave. Obviously, not the finish they wanted, but overall, just a tough season. And they left it all out on the line tonight. So you got to be pretty pleased with that. And Coach Tippmann was definitely pleased with his boys tonight.
Awesome. Hey, appreciate you, Elijah. Go on home and thaw on out for us, man. And thanks for staying out there for us. All right, we are going to make our way on over to Carroll now. The undefeated Chargers in the semi-state round for the first time ever. And they got a tough task in front of them. They're hosting undefeated state's top-ranked Hamilton Southeastern with a spot in the 6A title game on the line. Chargers got the ball first. And how about this? First play of the ball game, Jimmy Sullivan connects with Jaden Hill for the big play. Hill got some real estate in front of him, but he's going to be drugged down at the 1-yard line. A little bit later in that drive, 4th down and goal to go, direct snap to Braden Steely. He's able to finally plow his way into the end zone, and just like that, it's a 7-0 Carroll lead. Now, it would take some time for HSC to answer back in this one. We're in the second quarter, and here come the Royals. 4th down and 1. Ty Bradle fakes the handoff. He faked the cameraman, too. That was me, in case you were wondering. And he's got a heck of a lot more in front of him than that. Down the sideline, short of the goal line, though. Next play, Griffin Haas has his back, takes the Wildcat snap, and he's in with ease. Extra point, though, no good, and the lead is just 1 for Carroll. Later on in the quarter, HSC on to punt, but check out Michael Dierkman breaking through, blocking the kick. Jorge Valdez recovers. Chargers take over with a short field in front of them, and on the very next play, it's Steely. Doesn't like what he sees one way. Looked like he might have been able to try and pass that ball. I'm not sure, but reverses fields, and he's into the end zone. Carroll takes a 14-6 lead on the top-ranked team in the state. Royals looking to answer before half. Bradle rolling, throws back against his body, and check out this grab from Donovan Hamilton. Sensational catch, puts 6 more on the board, makes it a 2-point game. Now, HSC would go for 2 and the tie before the half, and Bradle's got a man wide open. Jack Osiecki right there, but he can't haul it in. Chargers would take a 2-point lead to the locker room. And how about this? Carroll is on to state for the first time ever. Chargers take this one 21-15. They'll face Center Grove next week. All right, it's time for our first break of the night, but don't touch that remote. We've still got 2 more high school football games on tap for you. Adams Central and Lures, they're both on the road eyeing some state championship berths. We got those highlights and more for you next in the locker room.
We're the Snyder Panther cheerleaders, and you're watching the locker room.
This is the locker room.
Hey, welcome back inside the locker room, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us. Well, we've already seen two of our teams in action tonight. The other two, unlike Snyder and Carroll, well, they are pretty familiar with this stage. And for Adams Central, it's like deja vu. The Jets back in semi-state for a second consecutive season, and for the second straight year, they're in the same place, facing the same team with a spot in the Class 1A state title game up for grabs once again. Last year, AC rolled over North Judson in this round 42-7 on their way to that state runner-up finish. And once again this year, it's the Blue Jays standing in the Jets' way of a return trip to Lucas Oil Stadium. Let's get you out to the Central Time Zone and North Judson High School. 1A number 2, Adams Central, looking to punch their ticket to a second straight title game, taking on the Blue Jays. First drive of the game, Jets get a little bit of cold fingers. Keegan Bloom loses the football. Cheyenne Allen there to dive on it. Blue Jays are in business right out of the gate. Couple plays into the drive, and the ball's on the ground. Once again, bad exchange. Big man Zach Worm covers it up. Gets the ball right back for the Jets. Fumble on the next North Judson drive sets up the Jets, and well, this time they would make the Blue Jays pay. Ryan Black running that Adams Central offense perfectly. Keeps it himself, avoids a tackle, gets into the end zone, and just like that, AC's up 7-0 early. After a punt, the Jets go right back to work. Back end of the house call here as Keegan Bloom atones for the earlier fumble. Adams Central makes it a 14-0 lead, and then right before half, Blue Jays driving down the field, only the second pass of the game by Aldrich Harper. It's tipped at the line, picked off by Keegan Bloom. The man just does it all. Jets take a 14-0 lead to the locker room after a punt to open the second half. It's Black once again, keeps it down the right side, coasts into the end zone, make it 21-0 AC. He'd add a rushing touchdown in the third and fourth quarters with Mr. Ryan Black. The Jets, they smoked the Blue Jays on their way to a second straight trip to state. 35-0 your final. They are headed back to Indianapolis, and our man Stephen Walker making the long trek out to North Judson. Stephen, my man, talk to me. First off, can you feel your fingers? Can you feel your toes? Secondly, the Jets, utter domination once again from them.
Yeah, I mean, just from the get-go, it looked like it was going to be a tight game out here. First quarter was scoreless, couple fumbles, like we showed in the highlights. Second quarter beyond was all Adams Central. You can see behind me, they shut down the lights. They could not shut down the Jets tonight. They had 5 turnovers in the game, 5 touchdowns as well. Ryan Black had 4 of them all on the ground. Like you said, that Adams Central offense was just dominant today from that second quarter beyond. They hit the running clock at about 10 minutes left in the game. Just complete domination by the Jets. Same spot they were in last year against North Judson, and once again, they beat them, come out on top to head to the state finals again next week in Indy. Caught up with Ryan Black and head coach Michael Moser after the game, and here's what they had to say.
There's no emotion. There's no word to describe how I feel right now. I'm super elated, I just can't be more prouder of the guys, the big boys up front blocking for me, It's all due to them, the wings, the receivers, due to them blocking. That's why I was able to get some touchdowns tonight, and it's just all due to them, I just have to run the ball and hold on to it, so.
They're a very, very good football team. They're going to throw the ball all over us. We're going to have to be ready for that. And if we can't run the ball, we're going to have to try to pass the ball as well. So we're going to have to work on everything and be ready to go and play our hearts out and see where that takes us. I'm excited about it, and I'm excited about the possibility of having another challenge just like that.
Yeah, Justin, it's going to be another rematch. It was a semi-state rematch between Adams Central and North Judson. Well, they're rematching against Indianapolis Lutheran next week in Indianapolis. They're looking to come out on the opposite end. They were beaten last year by Indianapolis Lutheran, but Moser is going to have this team ready. We'll see how the offense adapts. Today, obviously, a cold weather game, pounding the rock. Next week in Indy, they're going to be in Lucas Oil Stadium. We'll see if they have to bust out a little bit more of the passing game, and if Black can adapt. Had 4 touchdowns on the ground today. Let's see what he can do next week through the air. In North Judson, Stephen Walker, Fox 55 Sports.
Thanks so much, Stephen. Get back on over here and get warmed up, buddy. Final stop tonight comes in Class 2A for football, at least. Lures in semi-state for the second time in 3 years. On the road visiting reigning 2A champ Andrean. And things did not start well for our lovely Knights. That is Antonio Barnes of the opposite color team. He takes it back for an INT for a TD. You can make it 7-0 59ers. A little bit later in the first, 7-3 now. Drake Bowen going to work. Rushing touchdown. Don't know what happened to the live stream there, but hey, it's 14-3 59ers. Second quarter now, 14-6 game. I'm going to give you 2 guesses who they give it back to. Yeah, Drake Bowen. If you guessed him, you're right. It's 21-6 59ers, and then late in the second, some offense from our Knights finally. Wes Javins on the receiving end of that pass from Charlie Stansky, and Javins just rolling his way into the end zone. You can make it 21-13, but they left 34 seconds too many for Drake Bowen and company. Bowen, again, another TD right before half. He rumbles in here, 35 carries, 358 yards, 5 touchdowns for Drake Bowen, the Notre Dame commit. Right now, it's still in the fourth quarter, but Andrean leads Lures 48-23.